Hello Minecraft Maniacs, it's the Frog Queen here, and today we are making a lily pad base. This is a very easy base, very simple, tiny, that you can customize any way that you like. And I'm going to go through and show you a few ideas for it, but please, the whole point is to add your own special flair to this design. So to get started, we're going to go to the bottom of the lake or body of water that you've chosen and tunnel up. And so we're just going to put one block kind of resting on top of that water. Here we're going to start with 2 blocks, and we're going to put 2 more blocks adjacent to it. We're going to get rid of one of those blocks. It's just temporary, as you can see. We'll use some temporary blocks here to create the design. Then we go along the other side, put another temporary block, put 2 more down, another temporary block. These long pillar parts here, that's going to be 7 blocks down. Very easy. We'll use a temporary block. We'll take that away after we put the 2 adjacent blocks, just like that. Really, really simple. And of course, we're just going to repeat this on the other side, using our blocks as temporary blocks. And of course, you could use dirt for temporary blocks. If you're playing in survival, then you can definitely differentiate between them. But it's totally up to you. You could just keep using the exact same colored blocks. And I wanted to do this nice and slow for you, so you can definitely map out exactly how to make this outline. So the blocks I've chosen to use are green terracotta and then a lime green concrete for the base or the interior, the filling, I guess you could say, of this lily pad. It really pops next to that green terracotta, but you can use any colors you choose. Then we're going to go around the outline and put in all of our glass. Again, if you don't want to see out into the ocean, you don't have to use glass. But I really like looking out into the ocean and seeing sea plants and dolphins and things like that. So you're going to want to bring the glass blocks 4 blocks down, and then you can choose where to put your floor. I like to put them right under the glass blocks. Ultimately, I like to have 6 blocks deep, because that's the kind of ceiling that I like when I'm creating a house. Now we're doing this all in the water. You can see all the bubbles, so you're going to need some respiration if you're doing this in survival. Then go ahead and fill in the top. So next we'll pop down, and it's time to get rid of this water. If you have sponges, this is the easiest way to do it. But if you don't have sponges in survival, for instance, if you didn't raid an ocean monument, then you're going to want to just fill this with sand or dirt and then dig it all out, and that will get rid of all the water inside. Next, I thought maybe we'll do a flower. I wasn't going to do a lily on top of the lily pad initially, but hey, let's go for it. So I'm just using some pink terracotta to start. As you see, I'm building out the shape. You can completely copy exactly the shape if you like my flower, or make a new one. Again, we're using some temporary blocks to create some depth and some layers. And I'm just going to build out the rough shape with my terracotta before I go in and replace the blocks with more texturized blocks. So we'll be using lots of the different pink blocks. So once you've got this rough shape, you can go in and replace some of those blocks. One of my favorites, I have to admit, are the pink shulker boxes, which if you're in survival are going to be a very expensive block to get, but so worth it. I think they really add in a lot of extra texture, just like the glazed pink terracotta. Of course, you could also add some white in here, but I wanted to keep this all pretty pink. Now for the center, I'm going to use just white wool, go up 3 blocks, and then go off to the side 2 blocks. And these are kind of the interior pollinators, I guess you could say, of the flower of the lily. I know this is not exactly what a lily looks like, but let's use our imagination a little bit too. And then lastly, I filled out the rest of this with some pink glass. Again, kind of letting some of those blocks float off to the side just to give some shape and some depth. and then kind of connecting them a little bit. Of course, if you don't like the glass, you can replace it with another color, maybe even use some white or some magenta blocks. Add a little bit more texture and design to it than I have. And then next, for the interior, I didn't have any set vision for the interior of this lily pad, and so I just start playing around with some textures and some colors. I personally really love the lapis block, and so I use that to kind of frame the bed. I also use some trapdoors over some waterlogged blocks so that I can put some live coral on top. I wanted something really colorful, really bright and pretty. This is also a very good opportunity to play with the coral blocks, which we don't get to use a lot of live coral. You have to have a waterlogged block underneath it. So very, very fun. And I wanted to try some of the warped vines as well, because they really look like something that could be underwater to me. And of course we're going to want to look out onto something pretty, so I went outside the base and built up some coral, used some sea cucumbers to bring some light into it, and you could dress this up any way you wanted. You could build underwater monuments that look really cute, something to really add some life to around the build, something to look at, add some environment. So when I came back in, I thought, you know what, let's really play this room up. Let's get some sandstone in here. Let's get rid of the lime green for the floor, and let's go super ocean. And so I put in a little bit of a kitchen kind of worky area. We just threw down some barrels, put some buttons on them, used some sandstone stairs, put in a few furnaces, and I like to use andesite a lot of the time to create a little, stove cover, I guess you could say. Usually looks nice. Using some birch to complement the sandstone. Just decorate things a little bit with item frames. How about some bamboo? And let's take out that lime green and let's look at the ocean floor, shall we? So I did overhaul that. Best thing about Minecraft is you can change your mind all the time. You can constantly just use your imagination to come up with something new and rework a build, even after it's completely finished or after you think it's finished. There really are no finished builds in Minecraft, and that's one of my favorite things about it. So then I just go around and I add a little bit more of that warped vine back, kind of finish decorating things up a little bit. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. It's really colorful, reminds me of the ocean. But what would you like to see inside of it? I'd love to see your build ideas. Feel free to join my Discord and post them in the Discord channel with pictures of what you did in your underwater lily pad base. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys, and if you did, please feel free to give it a like, give me a thumbs up, comment in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. And a very special thank you to my patrons. It means so much to me that you support my work here on YouTube and Twitch and TikTok. And until next time, guys, keep mining, keep crafting, keep creating. Bye.